I woke up to a miracle today. Triggers fade as I find my way. No judgment to lead astray. In this peaceful state I'll stay.
Welcome back. We're exploring some ideas from A Course in Miracles today.
Specifically, we're looking at lesson 257. Its title is, Let Me Remember What My Purpose Is.
And in this lesson, it really hits on something I think universal. That feeling of being scattered, overwhelmed.
Or just, unclear, adrift maybe. We all know that feeling in our day-to-day lives.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's start by reading the lesson itself. Lesson 257.
Lesson 257. Let me remember what my purpose is.
If I forget my goal, I can be but confused, unsure of what I am, and thus conflicted in my actions.
No one can serve contradicting goals and serve them well. Nor can he function without deep distress and great depression.
Let us therefore be determined to remember what we want today, that we may unify our thoughts and actions meaningfully and achieve only what God would have us do this day.
And the prayer continues.
Father, forgiveness is your chosen means for our salvation. Let us not forget today that we can have no will but yours.
And thus our purpose must be yours as well, if we would reach the peace you will for us.
So right off the bat, this lesson offers a pretty fundamental reframe.
It does. This idea that confusion, distress, feeling scattered, even depression aren't just random quirks of being human. The Course says they're the logical result of forgetting our one single purpose.
That's quite a statement.
Yeah.
Because we normally think, I feel bad because this happened.
Right, I lost that client, so I'm stressed. Or the kids are sick, my schedule's a mess. Of course I feel overwhelmed. We point outwards.
Always looking for that external trigger.
Yeah.
The difficult conversation, the unexpected bill.
Exactly. And because we think the problem is out there.
Our solutions are aimed out there too. Manage things better, find coping mechanisms.
Maybe take a class on time management or stress reduction or
hustle harder. Get a second job to fix the money thing. We try to fix the world around us.
And look, those things aren't necessarily wrong. Therapy can help. Practical steps are often needed.
Of course. But the Course is saying those actions often just treat the symptoms. They don't get to the root cause, which is internal.
The root cause being forgetting our purpose.
And serving multiple conflicting goals because of that forgetting. That's where the scattered feeling comes from.
If we just remembered that one purpose, the Course suggests, these other problems might just resolve themselves or seem less problematic.
Well, it links that purpose to remembering our true identity, what the Course calls the unified Son of God that shared spiritual self beneath the ego.
So chasing all these separate worldly goals, career, money, status, even fixing relationships sometimes keeps us fragmented.
It keeps us feeling lost because we're operating from a false premise about who we are and what we're really here for.
And the ego is clever, isn't it? It keeps pointing outward. The problem is there. Go fix that.
It keeps us busy managing all these external demands, convincing us that that's the work we need to do, change the circumstances.
It keeps us juggling.
And that juggling act gets normalized. We're told, well, that's just adult life. You have to keep all these different areas going.
Career, relationships, health, finances, social stuff. Excel at everything.
And if you struggle to keep all those balls in the air, well, you feel like you're failing somehow.
Yeah, there's that subtle or not so subtle pressure.
But even when we do manage to achieve some of those things, get the degree, the promotion, the family,
The thing we were really looking for underneath all that.
like permanent safety or guaranteed satisfaction.
It doesn't quite land, does it? Because the world keeps changing.
You get the top job, then you're constantly stressed about keeping it.
Or you build up savings, and then boom, economy tanks or a health issue comes out of nowhere.
Right. That underlying anxiety, that need to stay on guard, it often remains. It's like a treadmill.
Okay, so this is where the Course offers a different path entirely.
Instead of trying to find safety by managing a million external things,
And chasing temporary fixes.
it says, just remember your one function. Stop the frantic doing and start remembering.
And that line in the prayer is key. Your will is mine and serves myself alone.
Serves myself alone. It sounds almost selfish in a conventional sense.
It does, but it's redefining self. If my true self is one with God or the divine source,
Then serving God's will is serving my deepest self-interest, my truest nature.
it's recognizing where real fulfillment lies.
The ego tells us peace and safety are things we have to achieve out there. The Course says peace is what we are. We've just covered it up with all this other stuff.
Okay, but let's get practical. How does this work on a Tuesday morning when the emails are piling up?
That's the real question.
I mean, I have real responsibilities, a job. I can't just sit around remembering my purpose all day.
And the Course doesn't suggest ignoring responsibilities. It says you can do what needs doing, but from a completely different motivation.
From a different source inside.
Exactly. It's about shifting the why, not necessarily the what.
So still pay the bills, go to work, deal with parenting challenges, but not to prove myself or manage fear.
But maybe is it expression of that one function? To be truly helpful, or to extend peace, or just to align with that deeper will in this specific situation?
You know, it's interesting how sometimes the same task can feel totally different. Like maybe dealing with finances, sometimes it feels heavy, stressful, fear-based.
I know that feeling well.
But other times, doing the exact same actions, paying a bill, checking the budget can feel peaceful, almost straightforward.
Yes. And that difference, the Course would say, comes from where you're coming from internally.
Yeah.
Are you operating from that fragmented ego drive trying to control outcomes?
Or are you, maybe without even realizing it, connected to that unified purpose in that moment, viewing it differently?
Like paying that bill not as a loss or a threat, but maybe an opportunity to practice trust or just participating calmly in the world. It shifts the whole energy.
So each situation, each task, even the annoying ones,
Becomes a classroom.
Yeah.
An opportunity to remember and choose that unified motivation instead of the old scattered, fearful one.
It all transforms from just more stuff to do.
Into different ways to practice serving that one will, that one purpose.
Which leads to a really critical point, I think. How do you actually tell the difference between the ego's demands, which can sound very convincing, and genuine guidance towards that unified purpose?
The discernment question, yes. Especially when different options might all seem okay or could all theoretically serve that purpose.
If God's will and my true will are the same, how do I hear that will clearly amid all the internal noise? That feels like the core practical skill here.
It really is. How do you know if it's true guidance or just wishful thinking? Or fear disguised as practicality?
Should I speak up now or wait? Invest here or save there?
Yeah, those daily forks in the road. The Course suggests the quality of the voice is different. The ego's voice, it's often fixated on a specific outcome. Gain this, avoid that. It presents choices as absolutely make or break for your happiness or survival.
For me, it often sounds like you have to, or you can't. There's pressure. You have to take this project. You can't skip that meeting.
It's always tied to a future threat or a promised reward that feels desperately needed now. It's almost like those online scams. They rely on urgency. Act now or lose out. Your account is compromised. Click here immediately. They trigger fear to bypass rational thought. The ego uses similar tactics. Fear the deadline, fear the loss, fear missing out.
Okay, so that's the ego's noise. What does the other voice, the true guidance, sound like or feel like?
It's usually quieter, more present-focused, less frantic about the outcome.
Instead of, you must take this job for security, it might be more like a quiet sense.
That this path feels more peaceful right now. Or this choice feels aligned with being helpful, with my deeper sense of what matters, even if the logic isn't immediately obvious.
Even if it's not the highest paying or most prestigious option.
Right. It's often less about a calculated argument and more about an inner resonance, a sense of rightness. Sometimes for me, it's a clear pull towards just playing with my boys in the evening rather than some optional work thing. And it comes not from guilt, but from this deep sense of peace about that choice.
And true guidance doesn't usually offer guarantees about the external result, does it?
No, that's more the ego's game. Do X and you'll definitely get Y. True guidance is more about the alignment in the doing. It connects you to something bigger than just your personal gain or loss.
It gives a sense of, this feels right, regardless of how it turns out externally. I've felt that sometimes making a choice that felt deeply correct, even if the outcome wasn't what I had hoped for or expected, the peace was in the choosing, in the alignment itself.
The peace that comes from honoring that inner nudge often leads to clearer insights later anyway.
It's not attached to the result proving it was the right move in worldly terms.
Exactly. And learning to hear that quieter voice, to trust that feeling of peace or alignment over the ego's shouting,
Yeah.
that's the practice.
It involves trial and error, noticing which choices lead to that deeper, lasting peace versus just temporary relief followed by more anxiety.
The ego's goals are loud and demanding. Remembering the one purpose requires getting quiet enough to hear what we actually already know underneath it all.
So, wrapping up our exploration today, Lesson 257 is really reminding us that feeling scattered, stressed, pulled in different directions.
That's the natural consequence of forgetting our one unified purpose.
And when we start to remember that our real function is simply to align with and serve the will we share with God,
Everything else, all those daily tasks and responsibilities, can become expressions of that single intention instead of feeling like competing demands.
it changes the whole game, not by necessarily changing what we're doing,
But changing why we're doing it and how it feels to do it.
that peace we chase through achievements, through getting everything right.
The Course says it's already here, available right now, just by remembering who we are and what our true function is.
So maybe a thought for you listening. Think about one activity in your day, something that usually feels draining or overwhelming.
What might it look like, just as an experiment this week, to approach that one thing from this different place, to see it as an opportunity to practice this unified purpose, to serve that deeper will?
Instead of just muscling through it or trying to conquer it, just notice, observe if your experience of that activity shifts even a little.
It's a worthwhile experiment. Until next time, keep practicing.